seen anything like that.
Wide right.
Little roller up along first. Behind the bag. It gets through Buckner. Here comes Knight, and the Mets win it.
Oh, the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. He's going to go in the end zone. The Bears have won. The Bears have won. Oh, my God. You believe in miracles? Yes.
It's the Davey Max Sports Program. And here's your host, Dave McDonald.
Thank you.
Yeah!
Thank you very much.
Yeah! Yes! Yes! Yes!
Thank you.
Yeah! Yes!
Thank you very much. Davey Max Sports Program on the July week of the 19th. And it is me, Eastside Dave McDonald, a.k.a. Davey Mac. With me, Chris Peppa Stanley.
Peppa! Woo! Hey!
Sean O. Ladies and gentlemen, in the sunglasses,
Roy!
and it is the crazy Davey Max Sports Program here. And we're in the sultry month of July.
Oh.
In the summertime, baby.
Hurts.
And we're trying to get through it. We're trying to make our way through it. And we're going to. You know why? Because there's one thing that keeps you going through the summer. I'm talking
Alcohol?
about, yeah, and barbecue.
All right.
But you got the baseball. You got some of the... Well, no, you have no football.
No.
Well, you have baseball.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
You had a golf championship over the weekend, a major championship we'll discuss, and much more. But I'm going to start off with something that the rest of the Davey Max Sports Program crew, the Dave Pound, would be surprised about.
Where the Dave's at.
And here's where the Daves are at. If you want to get specific, we will be discussing now the U.S. Women's World Cup soccer final.
Finally.
Now, let me tell you something here. I'll be honest. Last week, I diminished, devalued, and if not degraded the women with because I thought it was way too overhyped. Their last-second goal against Brazil, it was simply a quarterfinals game. Well, it turns out, who was the sports master?
The Sports Master?
That's right, me, the sports master, Davey Mack. Because, again, as I pointed out before, we can all get excited by this quarterfinal great victory if they win the World Cup, not if they lose.
No.
And I have plenty to talk about because let me tell you something. I did watch the semifinal game, start to finish, America versus France. They came from behind, another exciting win. I did watch the finals. That's right.
Well, why do you say it over again?
I watched the finals where they played Japan. Mm-hmm. And this time, the Americans, they took a 1-0 lead in regulation. Only 10 minutes to go in the game. Blew the lead. Japan scores. Terrible defense. Game is forced into extra time. In soccer, there's no golden goal, so to speak. There's no sudden death.
No.
They have to play two 15-minute periods. The Americans score in the second of those periods. Okay? And... boom, you're saying, okay, this is it.
It's over.
2-1. This Abby Wambach has done it again. She heads the ball in. She is, it's an odd thing because I find her kind of attractive, but at the same time, she looks like exactly like Sean O. So that's scary to me.
Oh, that's nothing.
Because if Sean O had a headband when he's shaven, which he is today, that's Abby Wambach right there. Okay, so that's a weird thing for me, as because here's Sean O, the Davey Max Sports Program engineer. He's the guy putting the songs together. He didn't write the Davey Mack Sports Program theme song. That was Joe Liga. Yeah. But nevertheless, it is Sean O. She does it again, and then the Japanese. Oh, my Lord. Another late goal. This time the Americans only have, a few minutes to kill. They're up 2-1. 3 minutes, all they have to do, kill that time. And what do? They let Japan score again, 2-2. Japan then takes it on penalty kicks, where the Americans looked like a bunch of choking fat ducks to me.
Aww.
Okay?
Oh. Come on.
I'm going to tell you, and that's not to say they were obese.
Oh.
So I don't even know why I said fat. But the point is this.
PH?
Well, yeah. Here's the point. This American coach, okay? First of all, I saw her after the game. And she is the coach of Team USA, right? And then I see her speak, and she was saying, we did a pretty good game, and we had a nice shot at the... What country is she from?
It was creepy.
Where, who, what? Who is the, where's this person from? Because she's not an American. If she was, she would have gotten the job done. I'm sorry to say that, but it's the case. First of all, that little blonde girl, Rapinoe, I believe is her name.
Yeah.
She was sensational. And with 2 minutes to go in the game, and I know she was tired. She's running around like a little crazy person. But still, with 2 minutes or so left to play, she substitutes for this girl. Okay? Then the defense lets up a very weak goal. That's A. B. This Abby Wambach. She's amazing. She can head the ball from anywhere on the field. On the pitch,
Just like me.
as they call it.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
And she's incredible. Having said that, in that second overtime period, she missed a point-blank shot with her foot. In fact, I never saw the girl kick a ball into the soccer net. She's supposed to be America's best scorer. She couldn't kick. She could not kick.
Hey, her head's good, though.
She's like the Eduardo Nunez of soccer players who can hit, but he sure as heck can't field. I don't know what's going on with this Abby Wambach that she can't kick it in from 12 feet away. She had the game iced. She blew it.
Well, her career's over, so don't worry about it.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Black
Get
man,
out of here.
black.
Maybe you can work for the Skinny Man Studios.
That'd be great.
Okay? Let me tell you something about this Abby Wambach. Or no, excuse me, about the coach. First of all, you don't substitute for her. Secondly, I don't know why she came up with this crazy strategy where she put her weaker players at the beginning of the penalty kick rotation. She saved Abby Wambach, and if you watch the game, there was this other girl, Alex Gordon, had an incredible goal. I mean, just amazing. She kicks it over, she does this, she then smashes it with her left foot, gets it past the goalkeeper. At that point, it was a 1-0 lead, and this is in regulation. You thought that was going to be enough for the Americans to win. This girl never even got a chance to kick the ball because I guess she was saving her best for last. My point would be this. You put all your big guns up top. You don't put, in baseball, you don't have Alex Rodriguez and Robinson Cano batting 7th and 8th in the lineup.
In my lineup,
No, they wouldn't be.
Well, maybe that's why I'm not a baseball.
That's right. Because you put the bigger people up at the front where they can do some damage. You don't put them in the back. You don't have, Peyton Manning only playing the second half. You have him start the football game. Why?
I don't know. I kind of want to save him, rest him up.
No! Why she did that. And by the way, so then she puts these players who they were like Gina Davis and Beetlejuice with popped out eyeballs where they were so scared out of their minds. It was insane to me. They wanted nothing to do with it. The one girl kicks the ball totally over the goal, doesn't even give herself a chance, doesn't put any pressure on the goalkeeper to make a save. She doesn't even put on a penalty kick. I'm telling you right now, all 4 members of the Davey Mac Sports Program, and I'll throw in Fast Freddy.
Wow.
If you gave us a shot at a penalty kick, we would at least put it on the goal.
Yeah.
They might be
Doubt it.
terrible kicks.
No.
The goalkeeper could probably save them with a blindfold and her pinky.
Come on, don't
No,
put
I
us
doubt
down.
that. Come on.
I'm putting only Roy down at
All
this
right.
point.
That's fair.
But I'm telling you that we would at least put the ball on net. To have this one girl kick it right over showed you she wanted nothing to do with it. And then the one after her basically told the goalkeeper, take exactly one step to the right, and then I'm going to kick it very weakly into your stomach. The goalkeeper had to do absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, the fourth person, Abby Wambach, she steps up and penalty kicks. Guess what? She makes a shot. She actually makes a shot. She is able to kick the ball in for the first time I've ever seen in her life. Why the coach wouldn't have put her first and then in the Alex Gordon second to put the pressure on the Japanese to say, listen, you got to start making some kicks now. As soon as the Americans missed the first one, I said, they're in trouble. And then once they missed the second one, I said, over. Good night, Sassenbacher. Okay? I said Sassenbacher. Okay? Because half of the Americans, their last names sounded like, I thought the one who made the goal, her name was Abby Sassenbacher.
That doggone Sassenbacher.
That's who I thought was the only one who would head the ball in from time to time.
God, why couldn't Gruden play in that team?
He should have. The one thing you know about Gruden, besides unintelligible puns, is that he would at least bring passion and enthusiasm.
Psychosis.
And these girls, during the penalty kick situation, they want no part of it.
Who's that, Big Nut?
You saw. What's that? What's that? Soccer ball?
You friends with that
guy? Why do they call this the pitch? What? I don't see Randy Johnson out there. That's the only pitch I know.
Give me a count.
Where's Steve Carlton? That's a pitch.
What's it sound like right before you kick the ball?
Come on.
What's it sound like?
Where did the Vuvuzelas go? What happened? I was loving that noise. Maybe I was the only one. I like the constant. That was fun. No more
That
Vuvuzelas.
doggone Sassenbacher.
So, at least Gruden would have brought that to the table. These girls didn't do any of that. And they didn't want any of it. And I'll tell you one other thing that the sportsmaster said, and he was very much into this game. By the way, I'm referring to myself in case you're listening to the first time. Me,
Yeah.
Davey Mack, East Side Dave.
Dave's a sports master.
I'm the sportsmaster.
In the third person.
So the sportsmaster turns to his
Beginning
wife.
at the end.
Turns to his wife. He says this, and I want you little maggots to think about this. And the next time you have some kind of wager, think about it. Because you're going to make yourself some cash, okay? I'm looking at you, Peppy Hamburger.
I like the action.
All right. Here's the point.
All right, what is it?
I said this to my wife when the score was still 0-0, or again, to use the soccer terms, 0-0.
Yeah.
Okay?
You know what
It
you're
was
doing.
0-0, 30 minutes in the first half. And I said, this, despite what any commentator is saying, like the two commentators, the British guy and the American girl who played in the 99 team, I said, despite what they're saying, this favors the Japanese. Why? Because in all sports, not just one sport, in every sport, when you are a heavy favorite, as the Americans were, when you're a heavy favorite and you let the underdog just stay around, not even if the score is tied, but as long as the underdog does not get blown out, a lot of times if the underdog just stays around, they win the game. And that's an adage that the sportsmaster has basically created and lives by. And I told this to my wife at 0-0. I said, the Japanese will win this game if the Americans don't get 2 goals ahead of them. They will win. I don't care how much time is left. And when the Americans went up 2-1 in overtime, 3 minutes left to play, my wife's looking at me like, oh, yes? Oh, yes, sportsmaster?
Oh,
Looks like you're on the wrong side of that bargain.
She doesn't have any faith in the sports master?
Yeah. And just saying, 3 minutes left to go, sportsmaster. It looks like you're wrong.
She sounds like an English Southern
Yes.
man.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
She sounds like someone I know named Dickie.
What about it now, sportsmaster? Huh? What do you think now, sportsmaster? Hey, sportsmaster.
No.
So
Easy.
I said, just you watch. They didn't get 2 goals ahead. As soon as I said that, the Japanese scored. Okay? Here's my point. I made a little bit of a pie graph here.
Oh, cool.
Okay?
Let me
that.
see.
Okay.
That's actually a. Oh, God. Again, with the.
That's not a graph.
That's an X.
What is it?
That's a
plus
symbol.
sign.
Okay. So my pie graph says this.
Oh, I know what that says.
Yeah.
Just in this past year.
Ah.
Let's think about this. Or let's say sports calendar year, okay? The Heat up 1-0, up 15 points in the fourth quarter. Heavy favorites, should have beaten the Dallas Mavericks, They did not put the Mavericks away. What happens? They lose the NBA Finals. They lose the
They
championship.
fall apart
Okay?
at the seams.
The Steelers, 2 Super Bowls. Roethlisberger's the man. When Roethlisberger wins this, he's better than Brady. He's way better than Peyton Manning.
Modern quarterback,
He's best.
possibly ever.
The Paul
Don't know.
Bunyan of rapists and quarterbacks, Daddy. So that's what everyone was saying. But what happened? The Packers stayed in the game.
That's right, Aaron
the Packers
Rodgers.
kept playing. They kept playing. The Steelers could never take the lead, put them away. Next thing you know, Packers are the champions. This is the team that had to win 2 games, their final 2 games, just to make the playoffs. Let's go back to the Super Bowl before that when we're talking about Peyton Manning. And if Peyton Manning picks up that second win, best quarterback ever. He's the Paul Bunyan of quarterbacks.
He needs it.
He's the Ron Jeremy of rapists and quarterbacks.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Yep.
Sandenbach. That's okay. So
That doggone Sanzenbacher.
So what happened? Peyton couldn't put him away. Had a
Nope.
couple opportunities.
Nope, fell apart.
Never could do it. Then there's Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Let's now, as time has passed, think about how insane that is.
Yeah, that didn't make any
That's
sense.
the New Orleans Saints. Basically, we're saying the Chicago Cubs have just what the
Without-
LA Clippers have just won the NBA Finals.
There's no running game whatsoever. And they didn't have one then.
So you want to talk about a favorite letting the underdog hang around. We could go back to even the World Series of
Poker.
Sure, the World Series of poker, but let's see. I mean, the Yankees Marlins, another example, 2003. Boom. I mean,
Boom.
you want to talk about the most heavy favorite of any of the teams? The Yankees. They have a 2-1 lead. They have an opportunity to win Game 4. That would have given them a 3-1 lead. Obviously,
Wrap
could
it
not.
up. Wrap
Could
it up.
not close the game out. What happens? Again, the underdog takes the game, takes the World Series. Time and time again, I am telling you folks, if you are a favorite, you have to put up the underdog. Why? Because you just saw it with the Women's World Cup. Even when, the Americans were up, the Japanese, they looked happy. They were smiling. They looked good. And then after regulation,
they always look like that.
and after regulation and after overtime, they huddle. They have their arms around each other.
yeah.
It's very nice.
That was very nice.
Okay. We get the sexual stuff. We understand they're women.
Come on.
Yeah, I liked it.
Let's
Please.
be adults.
I am an adult.
So-
Go back to that pie chart.
Listen.
yeah.
Listen. You have to listen when Davey Mack, a.k.a. the Sports Master, tells you about these things because he knows what he's talking about, because he's been watching sports since 1954, because the Davey Mack Sports Experience has been on from 1978 to 1983. Then
Yeah.
the Sports Experience got changed. The name title was taken to the Davey Mack Sports Program.
Yeah, that's-
People forget about the Experience days.
I can't believe that.
That was actually pre-Peppy Hamburger.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was when my only producer was a young boy named Fast Freddy. Let me tell you something.
Jimi Hendrix in that?
Yes. This is just fundamental sports law, okay? And to not think that these women choked, and they choked, my friends, they choked hard, okay? They are officially choke artists,
Yeah.
all right?
Wow.
They choked.
They're officially labeled that now, Sportsmaster?
Label them. In fact,
I'll
take
find
a
'em.
branding iron
Okay.
that says choke artists on it
All right.
and smash them in the back with it. Okay? Actually,
am I branding them or just beating them with it?
no, I want you to hit them with it.
Okay.
When they're on the ground, then
Then
you
you
brand,
brand them.
them.
Yeah.
All right.
Think about,
Yeah, you know how to
how they
brand
do
anyone?
Yeah, please.
Jeez.
Sorry.
In fact, now that I think about that, let's not do that. Let's not attack. Again, we don't advocate any kind of
about to
physical.
order a new brand.
No, you know what? Don't do that. That's going too far. So we're going to take that back right now. We're going to apologize for even
Sure?
saying it.
You sure?
Yes. And I'll tell you something. I am very surprised at this entire country of America for being so supportive of a bunch of losers. Yeah, I mean they're nice and they have nice hair, and Hope Solo, everyone likes her. and,
Sure.
I favored the Rapinoe because she was spunky. She reminded me of She looked like she could have been in the Bangles, maybe playing bass or something like that, or guitar.
I think she might have been.
Yeah. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that for the first time ever, I've seen our country not destroy these women. If this was a men's team, we'd be killing them. We would be we would be crushing them.
No, they wouldn't.
And we wouldn't let them back in the country.
No, they'd be excommunicated.
They'd stay in Germany. Deutschland, so
And
to
they
speak.
probably like it better too because they're a bunch of losers.
That's right. And Germans lost the war.
That's
Let's
right.
not forget about
Yeah.
that.
Their asses
USA!
USA! USA! USA!
Listen, this is a lot of silliness.
What?
But I'm telling you, I don't want to hear from these women. I don't want any of them on the team again. I don't.
Really? Just kick them all off?
Well, I mean, this Hope Solo then dares to say, well, listen, I'm 30 years old. I'll only be 34. In goaltending years, that's not very old. So I feel like I can play another World Cup. I don't want you
please.
there. I don't want you there. What I want is to give citizenship to the little Japanese goaltender who was utterly brilliant, outplayed everyone on both sides. That's what I want. I want her to come over. I want her to be the next goaltender. That's what I want.
all right.
Okay?
I'll work on that.
Then we go over to this. So that's one thing that happens with an American team on foreign soil.
Yeah.
Then the next thing that happens is in the same weekend, crazy-ass Phil Mickelson. I love him. You have to love that, obviously, drunken or LSD taking son of a bitch.
He's probably tripping.
He's the most fun golfer of all time to watch. He's up. He's in the top 15 going into the final day. He's not. It looks like he's not going to win, but this will be one of those, good top 10 Phil Mickelson finishes. Maybe he finishes eighth, pockets a couple $100,000 or whatever the winnings is. Maybe that's what he does.
Not a bad day's work. Dave.
Not at all. Well, 4 days work, my friend. Nevertheless. Okay. I would golf for usually 4 rounds. But anyway, then all of a sudden, it's like, holy mackerel. This is, he is shooting the hell out of the ball. It looks fictitious. It's Happy Gilmore shots where through British wind, he's able to hit these monster 300-yard drives straight, is able to get onto the green. He's getting eagles on a British Open course. That's very rare. He's doing an incredible job, and you're saying, oh, my God. At one point, he's tied for the lead, and you're saying, this is the best. Phil Mickelson, out of nowhere, is going to bring back the country
Finally.
of USA.
Finally.
USA.
USA! USA! USA!
Roy,
Yes, Dave.
please.
Sorry, Dave. I'll sit back down.
Let's just keep it calm now.
God, Roy.
And you're
Ruining
thinking
everything.
Phil Mickelson's going to be the guy who is going to bring it back. Bring back the glory to old Uncle Sam. And then the back nine, he hits shots that I haven't hit since I was 8 years old in the Belmar rooftop miniature golf course where there was a gigantic windmill and I would just try and drive the ball. It would hit the windmill,
That's not the
then
way
go
to do
out
that.
onto the street because whoever thought that putting a golf course on a rooftop was a good
Smart.
idea.
That's a good idea.
Lose the ball, and then my dad would say, well, that's the end. And I would say, but this was only the second hole.
He wouldn't get another ball for you?
You're not going to pony up 50 cents, Dad. But no, he would say, listen,
Cheapskate.
you have to. Well, it was more about the principle. He says, if you're going to be a winner in this family, then you're not going to go for these crazy shots. It's putting. You're not going to slam the ball.
Little do you know, you would become the sports master.
Did he know that I would lead the my little league in home runs? My last year, that I would hit 389 JV ball. Okay,
pretty
that
damn
I
good.
would take 2 out of 3 championships at the Davey Max Sports Program presents the second annual Wiffle Ball Challenge. He didn't know any of that. Okay,
Oh.
that I would win a free throw shooting competition when I was 10 years old for the Spring Lake Recreational League. He didn't know it.
And against some black guy about 20 years later.
That's right. And then against Earl Douglas, I would beat him 12-2.
Yeah, well, anyone.
And
could.
hit 4 3. Excuse me.
Uh-huh.
Anyone could not hit 4 3-pointers in a row. It's not
Not
about Davey
against-
Mack.
not against Earl
It's not
Douglas.
about Davey Mack. It's about Phil Mickelson hitting insane shots and that beautiful lead that he had built up for himself, and tying for first place just goes completely to hell. And you're once again saying, oh my God, Phil Mickelson, I can't get mad at you because you are one of the more intriguing athletes of all time. I have never seen someone who, when he's hitting the ball well, when he's on fire, he can hit the ball, strike it more purely and better, more beautifully than even Tiger Woods. He is better when he's on fire than Tiger, but when he is off, when the smallest thing, if a fly comes within 4 feet of him and he loses focus, I have never seen someone who is
fall apart.
John Daly's worst drunken day where he has the shakes could hit a ball better than Phil Mickelson. When Mickelson just starts going cold, it is the Titanic. It's amazing, but it makes for fascinating stuff. So then the end up, the guy, Darren Clark, wins the British Open. He gets a cool $1.5 million.
Irish guy, right?
Northern Irish.
Yep.
And then not only gets the 1.5 or somewhere around that, but gets 3.2 from his sponsor, Guinness. And
That's
during his post-game press
awesome.
No. What's more awesome is during his post-game press conference, the sponsors shove a pint of Guinness in his face while he's trying to talk about golf. He's like, well, on the 18th green, I had a real nice, and the Guinness sponsor's like, here, take my product.
Mention Guinness.
And he takes it. He's like, well, if you wouldn't mind, I just need a little nip and tuck here. And boom. Drinks half of it. I loved it.
Wonderful.
So
That was wonderful.
it was an incredible weekend for the Americans, but ultimately it was a bit of a bittersweet thing. Mickelson, listen, he's at least won his 4 majors, so I'm not going to give the guy a hard time. Plus, he's starting to get a little old on us. You know, I think Mickelson now has got to be 40 or 41, and that, you know, you're starting to get past your prime in golf, even though you're not running a marathon. You're not running like that little Rapinoe for the women's team.
No.
You're still a human. I mean, I'll be honest. After Davey Mack did take 2 out of 3 in the wiffle ball championships, I was sore for 2 days. I really was. I really was. Why?
not
I'm
surprised.
33 years young, and I'm going to start. I'm at my apex, I feel. But in the next, I would say, 6 to 7 to 15 years, I will probably hit my downslide.
Well, if you keep up those dumbbell workouts, I'm sure you got a few more
Believe
years
it or
than
not,
that, my friend.
I was not sore in my arms, so the dumbbell workouts
Obviously.
are
Yeah.
working out.
Oh. Wow.
I don't get a laugh button for that.
It's
You're just so focused on Schatzenbach.
it's like number 1 or number 4.
I could say that again if you want me to.
Yeah, you probably should.
I'm going to tell you something right now, Debbie, okay? Those dumbbell workouts, shall we say, are working out, Bougie. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Hey, what?
That laugh
minute.
died.
Okay.
What's the time on that?
Write the time down, and then we go back.
That's 28 minutes in.
Thank you.
A quick thing, I want to thank everyone who came out to the Davey Mack Sports Program presents the 2nd annual wiffle ball tournament. As I said, I was quite incredible. Actually, Pepper, could you pull up my Twitter? And it's like the 3rd to last tweet, and I'm going to show you guys and see what you guys have to think about it. It's just going to go to you guys. I hit a home run that they called foul, and I could not believe it. And I want to see what you guys think. And you're going to have to put it on full screen because it's kind of a faraway shot.
Yeah, put it on the
but
big screen.
I hit this ball, and to me,
Oh, look at little Davey, man.
it's so far down below that. You're on the right page. It's just you'll see home run ball. There it is. And just wait 2 seconds. So my team wins the first game. Okay, my team wins the first game, and you might want to actually get the pen out and see if we have to write the time down because I forget if there's cursing or not. But we win the first game 4-3, phenomenal game. Okay, we win the second game 11-0. There's a 10-run mercy rule after the 4th inning. If you're up 10 runs, I hit. We're down. I mean, my team's up 8-0. 2 runners on. I hit a 3-run shot to make it 11-0. Bottom of the 4th, which means the game's over. So I'm counting that, by the way, as a walk-off. Because what happened? I hit the home run. We walked off the field.
Did you get a pie in the face?
I'm counting that. No one.
Guinness?
No one did that. This 4th game, my team lost 3-2. Okay. So what I'm saying is this home run would have made the difference.
Where's the foul pole? Is it the cone?
You will see it afterwards. There will be another small cone. And I'll say to everyone, because obviously this is visual, but I'll just tell you guys, go to twitter.com/EastSideDave. The date was, the tweet was July either 16th or 17th.
16th.
Go to the one that says home run ball with 5 exclamation points. You tell me. Was it gone or was it not gone? Watch the small cone, Pepper. Okay, and Sean Owen Roy. Go ahead. Look at the swing, though, when I show it to you. Okay, we're just waiting. Hold on, folks.
Mm.
No, you missed it already. It's literally the first swing. We got to go back. Okay, here we go. Now watch this. My wife's pitching. She's the other team captain. Look at that swing.
That was nice.
Look at that. Now watch this. Look at that ball. Look at the cone. I'm being serious. Go back and pause it. Just go back and pause it where the ball is on the screen, just so you guys can analyze this.
Finally, commentating.
Go a little bit further, a little bit back. Okay.
No, a little bit back.
Okay, now he's chasing it.
No,
Go ahead.
further.
Just press play and then
Further.
pause it where it is. Put it on pause.
Oh, look
at that cone.
Clearly.
That
The little cone.
was fair ball.
Will Cone. Now, I'm being serious. They said foul ball. I was shocked. They also had no concept of if you hit a ball and it wraps around the foul pole and like lands in foul territory, but it was in fair territory. It went to
with
the
you.
right side of the pole.
Yeah.
Because, in left field, folks, I'm a right-handed hitter. So you're looking at the foul pole. The ball goes over, past the right of the foul pole. If it goes, it doesn't matter how far to the right it goes past. Once it goes over to the right of the foul pole, that's it. It's a home run. Just press play. I'll show you my reaction here, Sean, and you see if I was justified. Because some people said at a line, and then the game got non-fun because he took it too seriously.
That's not foul! That was inside when it hit the ground. Look at the ball! Right here! Everyone don't touch the ball. Look here on the plate.
It's inside. I can see from here.
He hit it went to the left.
No, it isn't.
It's fair. It's right on the left. And it hit. It went to the left. It was gone.
It's
But
outside.
the bitches.
I'm really sorry. It's outside. Thank you, Ashley.
It hit the ground and went to the left.
Okay, that's enough.
Yeah, and you're really far away from the camera, too. And you're the loudest one there.
I want to show you my Gruden-type
And
enthusiasm
you're
that
holding
was
it back.
obviously lacking from the other teams.
Still got the bat. I'm surprised they disagreed with you.
And it was just, I was absolutely robbed. You can check it out, or you can check it out. It's on my Facebook. It's on Twitter. Some people don't like the Facebook, the Twitter. Facebook. I'm on Google Plus now. You just check it out, or go to eastsidedavecountry.com in the news section. It'll be there too. Just go check it out, you sons of guns. Okay, folks, listen. We could sit here and talk all day. We got a lot of stuff to do. We barely scratched the surface. Davey Mac Sports Program, Eastside Dave McDonald, a.k.a. Davey Mac, a.k.a. the Sports Master, Pepper Hamburger. Chris Stanley.
That's it.
Shano. Roy. And we'll be right back.
You don't know where to go to, why don't you go where fashion sits? Putting on the Ritz. Different types who wear a day coat, pants with stripes and cutaway coat, perfect fits. Putting on the Ritz. Dress up like $1 million trooper, trying hard to look like Gary Cooper.
Super duper. By the way, I got you to say a word. You immediately lost. Davey Mac Sports Program, Eastside Dave McDonald, a.k.a. Davey Mac. Chris Pepperstand.
Hey.
Sean O. Roy, who promised everyone he would not say a word this final segment. And yet, he did the super duper part. So, he just lost. And he owes now me, Sean O, and Pepper $17 each. Okay? All right. But anyway, the sports season rolls on. Hopefully, we're coming to an end with this damned NFL lockout situation. I've almost given up because for, honestly, the first 5 weeks of it were, well, it's not going to happen, nothing's going to happen, we're going to lose games. Now, for the last 2 weeks, it's constantly, we'll just take it. Who cares?
There you go.
Just take it. Okay. For the last 2 weeks now, it's been, we're very close. The season is about to begin. In fact, the season is so close to beginning, we might actually start the proper regular season of the NFL tomorrow in July.
Finally.
They're actually going to play 28 games this year because they're going to start it on July 18th, apparently.
Oh, my God.
Well, it's just constant updates of nothing.
Yeah. It's just, it's every single update is they agreed on some things, but now they are not agreeing on other things. So it's going to be a little more time.
Do you know anything about this story, Peppy Hamburger?
I know they just, every time they say they're close, something happens, and then it just falls apart again. And I know that there's still no union. The players are still suing them.
That's the weird thing, that you see these things of Tom Brady versus the NFL.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's a strange feeling. But, just get it done, because I guess now we're still not going to be able to salvage a Hard Knocks season. Is that officially done? HBO can't
I don't know if it's officially done, but it doesn't look good.
See, what the hell?
Yeah, you're not going to get. I don't think you're going to get your Hard Knocks.
That's the only thing that I care about with this whole issue. I think they're saying that
it's going to be an 8-game season. I think that was one point a couple weeks ago.
I mean, it seemed if it was an 8-game season, honestly, the fans would revolt in a heartbeat. No, I mean, I think the fans are the actual. If everything's on schedule, the NFL would have started next week anyway. So we're talking about if they can somehow get this thing done within the next 3 days. And including, work over the weekend, for crying out loud. You're not a bank.
No, come on.
Just work.
They need their weekend.
Oh, yeah,
off.
I know. They're multimillionaires and billionaires who need that Sunday off.
Look, man.
No, listen. Get the job done. Then you start the whole season. We don't have to have anything of, the reason why the Colts aren't the same this year is because Peyton Manning didn't get to have his whole
he
training
didn't practice
camp.
enough. I mean, come on.
That guy would practice with Archie in his backyard throwing 100 footballs every single day if he had to. You don't have to worry about those guys. And you certainly don't have to worry about veterans. If you're going to tell me it'll affect rookies, fine. But, I mean, how many rookies overall make a huge impact in the NFL season?
15 a season.
Okay. So that's not a lot.
That's
if it's 15, did you come up with that number arbitrarily?
No, I have graphs.
Okay, you don't.
Look,
you have
there's
no
one.
graphs. No, yeah, that's okay. Now, here's something that I'm interested in. And it's that the Yankees, the big word on the street is that they are very serious about getting Ubaldo Jimenez from the Colorado Rockies.
Jimenez.
Yes, Jimenez. If you're pronouncing it like Jackie Mason, that's the way you would say it.
Jimenez.
I don't see why the Yankees. I think this is a season where if you're the Yankees, try everything you can to make the playoffs. Maybe get lucky, and for the first time ever, just be one of those teams that says, you know what, we're just not going to do anything. No. Well, hold on. My strategy is this. You say we're not doing anything, and then how about having other teams try and scramble to unload their huge payroll and send you a good outfielder or send you a decent starting pitcher, and you don't have to give up everybody for it. Because I don't want to see the Yankees just dilute their farm system for a guy who, quite frankly, these kind of pitchers happen all the time in baseball. Where last year, if you remember, he had something like 15 wins before the All-Star game, and we're saying Jimenez is going to win 30 games this year. He's the greatest pitcher of all time. I can give you Mark the Bird Fidrich. I can give you this old Yankee pitcher called Charles Hudson. I can give you a ton of pitchers who have had great first halves one year. They make the All-Star game. They're the talk of baseball. Sometimes they have a decent second half, and they're the talk of baseball for that season, and that's it. There are countless starting pitchers in the history of baseball who have done that, who have been huge, huge helps to their team for literally a half a season, but they've never been able to recapture that kind of magic. I can guarantee you this Jimenez is the same guy. In fact, the sports master will put more money on it. I'll take the $17 that Roy owes me and scoot it over there and tell you that Jimenez will never, ever again win 20 games in baseball.
Let it ride.
He never will win 20 games for the rest of his career. He's got a crazy, herky-jerky motion. His mechanics are all insane, and that's why the guy's constantly hurt. And he had one season where he was able to stay off the DL.
That's all the Cashman needs.
I'm telling you. And Cashman, he wants him.
Yeah,
and it's just
I know.
another one of these guys, these broken down guys who had a decent stretch, but that's it.
Well, Cashman's contract's up after this season, right?
Please fire him.
That's not
Or
gonna
just
happen.
don't bring him back.
Crazy?
Why?
They're not going to get rid of him.
Give a whole lot of money to Theo Epstein and say jump ship. Leave Boston.
All right.
Come over to the team of champions, the New York Yankees.
Yeah, baby.
Boston Red Sox, you might feel good about that. What, they've won, maybe 7, 8 championships, maybe? It's pretty good. It's not 27.
Well, no other organization could say that.
It's not 27
Yeah,
championships.
that's right, Pepper. No other organization
I think if I just talk softly enough,
in the history of
it'll
sports.
actually make a more of an impact.
I couldn't agree more.
It's not 27 championships. 27. But it isn't.
That doggone Sanzibaka.
He just ruined the moment.
I don't know what Gruden's doing.
Pepper's favorite basketball player of all time is set to make a huge announcement today or tomorrow. Yes, that's right. Yao Ming retiring from the NBA, giving it up.
What am I going to do with this throwback Yao Ming
I don't know. It's you just sell it to Bronx Johnny or sell it to someone who can use it. I don't know what you can.
I have an outfit that matches with it. It's unbelievable.
Well, just sell it to anyone from the Bronx. Actually, now that I think about it, because they always had people like to match.
Guy got the hat, the shoes, and the jersey.
It's a bittersweet thing because he had this potential. He was 7'6", but let's call it like it is. He's going to be more, in my opinion, on the ledger of a Sean Bradley or Manute Bol than he is on the. I'm not obviously we're not going to bring a Shaq or an Elijah one, anyone modern. Certainly not going to bring a Russell or Chamberlain. But what I'm saying is you're going to compare it to someone. You might compare him to say a Bill Walton, who had a phenomenal career at the beginning, then dealt with a ton of injuries. But Bill Walton did win a championship. He was quite a player for the Trailblazers. And then when he was
the Dead.
He loves the Grateful Dead, and then when he was broken down, was an NBA six man for the Boston Celtics. Yao Ming, he just never could put it together, and he's going to be one of those guys. I hate to say it, who you'll see in celebrity boxing in 4 years on Fox. Okay, it'll be him and Todd Bridges duking it up.
Oh man,
Let's get ready to rumble.
Dave Max Sports Master.
Put another $17 on it, and give me 18 ridiculous points on it.
Who takes that match?
Okay.
Put it on Yao. The height?
I saw Todd Bridges in on a professional wrestling reality show where they got D-list celebrities to wrestle.
He did time. So
He could do backflips and stuff. He actually was a decent flyer. So because of that athleticism, I'm going to say Bridges will knock out Yao Ming in the first 90 seconds, kind of like a Mike Tyson type of deal. Okay.
Todd Bridges is the Mike Tyson of celebrity boxing.
That's right.
I like that.
Sad news. Nolan Ryan.
Sadder than Yao?
Very sad. No, he can't.
Again.
Pepper.
Nolan Ryan might be dying.
What?
We're all dying.
Okay, I shouldn't say that. We're a reputable news.
Why would you say that?
I felt like I needed some more drama. I felt like I needed to juice it up a little bit in here.
Well, what was happening then? Otherwise,
Not
what's
a lot.
not dramatic enough about Nolan Ryan?
I don't know. It just, I just felt like I needed to, spice things up a little bit. No, he underwent a series of precautionary tests in a Houston hospital. He has a heart condition.
Oh.
So again,
that's
Nolan
dramatic
Ryan,
enough.
6 days to live. Good night, El Capitan.
Good God. Let's get the show together.
Let's get
for his
physical.
death.
Let's get physical.
Send Fast Freddy down to his hotel room.
Where do you think Nolan Ryan ranks in the last, let's say, 30 years of baseball? Okay, you're all baseball fans. Is he better than a Roger Clemens? He obviously didn't play on the winning teams because Clemens got a good Red Sox team that went to the World Series and then a great Yankees team in the late 90s to 2000s. Yeah. Okay, so you have the Clemens, but what about a Greg Maddux, a Randy Johnson, a Pedro Martinez? And what about Clemens? I mean, what I'm saying is Clemens had the better teams. Just by the pitcher alone, would you take Nolan Ryan over all of those guys? Any of those guys? None of those guys? I'm throwing it out.
I mean,
to
if you want to win, I don't think you can take Ryan because he was obviously dominating and he was also crazy. So you can't take him if you really want to win.
Well, crazy how?
Well, he was nuts. He would rather they just reprinted an article on Grantland of some Nolan Ryan article that was in I believe Sports Illustrated, and I'm just going on about how he had to strike out everyone at 3-2.
Okay,
it didn't matter to him.
So you're saying because he was more interested in the K.
Yeah,
he wasn't a team player.
Yeah,
but
I like that.
Most of those pitchers that I mentioned, except for Maddux, Pedro wanted to strike out everyone.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson wanted to strike out everyone. Randy Johnson's the only other person with over 4,000 strikeouts. Nolan Ryan has over 5,000. I mean, talk about a beast.
And he went so long. He was so old.
He was an old school Nintendo, baseball stars video game character. That you can't have a 45-year-old who could still throw 96 miles an hour. That was insane. Without steroids.
Yeah.
Because Clemens did it with juice.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson did it with the fact that he was 6'10", and he could throw the ball 3 feet and would be at the plate because he had 40-foot arms because the guy was Godzilla. Pedro, for my money, I would take over anyone from 1980 on.
Wow.
From 1980 to 2011, I would take Pedro Martinez over any pitcher, though he was not exceptional. He wasn't terrible. He was not exceptional.
But he had a few years
in
that was
postseason.
amazing.
No, I'm saying in postseason.
Okay.
He was not exceptional. I mean, he had more than a few years. In regular season, he was utterly insane.
Yeah.
He was the only guy who, in that late 90s Yankees dynasty, the game where he gave up one hit, struck out 16. The one hit was a home run to Tino Martinez, I believe. But it was one of the more insane games you've ever seen in your entire life. Randy Johnson's right there now. Randy Johnson threw a perfect game.
Before he went to the Yankees.
Oh, way before.
Yeah, but in his prime, it was nasty.
And he was a part of a duo that basically, it was him and Schilling were the reason why the Yankees didn't have a four-peat on their hands.
Yeah.
And you think about that, 4 rings in a row, 5 in 6 years. No one would have ever come close to that again.
No.
Who else did I mention? Everyone always forgets about Maddux. Now you look up his career stats; it's insane.
Well, they forget about him because he was Brave, and they associate with him.
It's a very lukewarm
like
sports town.
Nolan Ryan because he was with the Astros for most of his career.
Yeah, but I feel like there's way more than Maddux, a sort of mythology around Nolan Ryan, almost like he's an old school guy, like he was the modern day Walter Johnson of his time. Whereas Greg Maddux, he never gets the respect. Then you look up, and he has a ridiculous amount of wins. 343 or 350, somewhere around that. I mean, when you get well past 300 wins, of course, for a Major League Baseball pitcher is the golden number.
Yeah.
You get that, you're in the Hall of Fame. Any win, just one
355.
355. Any win, one win. After 300 wins is huge. You get 10, you get 20 wins. You get 320 wins. You could say, hey, I'm a top 10 guy. He has 355 wins all time.
3,300.
This Greg
strikeouts.
Maddux. And yet we just poop on his head.
Yeah, he's covered in poop.
Well, that's the point. I wouldn't mind everyone being covered in poop at this point. You
Give me
know?
Jim Abbott.
I mean, Jim Abbott? He was certainly the greatest stump pitcher of all time.
Whoa.
He was a little stumpy. That's
He threw
all.
a no-hitter, though.
Yeah.
The problem with Maddux is that no postseason cred, constantly was being beaten. You know, he had a good start here or there, a decent win occasionally. But unfortunately, those Braves failures hurt him. They hurt him a lot. Whereas they don't hurt John Smoltz as much because he came up big. So he's sort of excused from kind of the Atlanta Braves, chokers scenario. But Greg Maddux, the target's right on his back. And even Glavine to a certain extent. Glavine to me is the most boring, great pitcher who will make the Hall of Fame of all time. I could not ever stand watching a game with Tom Glavine and his little chintzy. I'm going to throw a few inches outside, and I'm going to throw inside. It's 2-0, and I'll come out with a fast 2-1. And then everything was a 3-2 count. When every hitter goes 3-2, it fouls the ball off 7 times. It's a 13-hour game.
305 wins.
Screw off, Tom Glavine. I don't care how many wins you have. And don't even compare yourself to Greg Maddux then, if Maddux had 355. Speaking of long games, the Red Sox and the Rays went 16 innings, my friends. 16 innings. Final score, 1-0.
Oh, man.
Now listen, especially in postseason baseball, do I love a pitcher's duel. I love it. But I'm going to throw this out to the room.
Okay.
16 innings, 1-0. Best pitcher's duel of all time, or eye-clawingly boring ball game that would make you go insane if you were there.
Mid-season, I'd probably stay for it.
It was Red Sox Rays.
I would stay for it.
Think about the Red Sox Rays though, because they have been a rivalry. Remember, the Rays had to beat the Red Sox to get into the series in 2008. So, forget if you weren't there. If you're just watching TV, is this a game that you're interested in?
I would have turned it off.
Yeah.
At
So
some point.
you can't take it.
Not being rooting for the Red Sox to lose, I still don't think I could.
We'll put your team into it. Whatever your team is.
Okay, so if it's my team, the Yankees.
Say if it's your team, 16 innings, 1-0.
My team wins.
Forget about it.
It matters. It makes a huge
if your team
difference because I'm
wins.
going to be
If
really
your team-
pissed off
if your team
I
goes.
watch this whole game and my team lose.
If your team wins.
Yeah, I can watch it.
But then you didn't sound like you had much enthusiasm here. Do I have to give you a Schatzenbacher? Give him a shot of Schatzenbacher for that. No, because you're going to have to bring it.
God.
That doggone Schatzenbacher.
Okay. Now listen. I love a pitcher's duel. But 1-0 after a certain while is not getting it done. It's simply futility. None of you can hit a home run.
It's a train wreck.
No one can put 2 back-to-back doubles in the first 15 innings. You can't give me something. Postseason, it would probably be the most riveting game of all time.
In the middle of the season, this is annoying.
I remember there was a Yankees-Twins game a couple years ago where I think it was 14 innings or something. It was very low scoring. I believe 2-1 or something like that. But 2-1 is something. I mean, or even 3-2. But at least they've gotten something done during the game. It was 0-0 for 15 innings. I mean, that's a nightmare. And we talk about the American fans don't like soccer. Because sometimes they have the 0-0. Yeah, not enough scoring.
How can it end in a tie?
I will say this though: at least we have extra innings. Thank God. To me, the baseball gets it done properly. Football, they still don't have a clue. And soccer, imagine if they just kept playing overtimes until someone scored, and then that was the game. Why they had to play another overtime and then penalty kicks makes no sense.
Yeah, just go to the penalty kicks, or either or.
Something. Speaking of soccer.
Oh.
Landon Donovan, David Beckham, and Thierry Henry. They will lead the Major League Soccer roster that will play Manchester United in the league's All-Star game.
Man U.
So it will be the MLS All Stars versus Man U July 27th in Red Bull Arena, which is in New Jersey. I might go to this if I can get a free ticket. Basically, or
I
3
think
or
they're
4
basically
tickets.
free. They're really
Don't
cheap.
go.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they're really cheap.
Don't go.
That's a lot of stars, though.
Trust me.
But I'm telling you, with
I've been
Landon
to-
Donovan, David Beckham, and then and playing Man U,
Trust
so
me.
you get that other little guy, the guy.
The stadium
You know.
will be packed, and it will be frightening.
Oh, that's what you're saying.
Yeah.
For my own
Safety.
I'll just wear a Man U uniform and I'll fit right in.
Sure.
I don't know.
I
man.
can't pass for a hooligan.
I don't
Come
think,
on.
I basically am a hooligan, for Christ's sakes.
I don't think it's gonna be packed with people that look like you.
There are plenty of redheads in England.
I'm just
I'm telling you.
saying. How to say this properly?
Okay. All right, listen. So that's the situation there. I don't know. I find it interesting. Here you go. Bengals running back Cedric Benson. He's
out
been
the entire
arrested.
season.
Yeah, he's been arrested again.
For what?
Well, this time he's charged with assault causing bodily injury to a family member.
Oh, well, it's a family member. It's no big
Yeah,
deal.
that's fine. That's
That's just
a law.
yeah. I mean, that's a family feud as far as I'm concerned. The arrest, it's like his 7th, 8th arrest. He has completed 2/3 of the boating, driving, flying while intoxicated trifecta.
Nice.
Wait a minute. Which two?
He was boating and driving.
Oh man, I was hoping for the flying.
He's got to get in that plane.
I know that'd be
It's
great.
a hot air balloon.
Something.
Oh, yeah, now we're
a
talking.
blimp,
Hang glider.
a kite. There he is. Woo! Having a good time, dogs.
Oh man,
And
not again.
another interesting sports story. Don Nelson, good old Nelly,
Donnie.
71 years young, wants to coach the Minnesota T-Wolves. He wants in. Of all teams, Don Nelson says, I will turn this ship around. I will make this the #1 fast break team in basketball.
He's due.
Forgetting that there's at least 7 or 8 better teams, and the T-Wolves won't have a chance to win within the next 5 years. Especially because they're playing in the West, and you're still going to have the Lakers. You still have the Spurs. You have now the the Memphis Grizzlies, and yes, of course, the Dallas Mavericks,
He's gonna make him
Oklahoma
run
City
suicides.
Thunder.
Suicides all day long.
It's stacked over there. But,
Well,
he's going to
he'll
be
be
the cream of
fast.
the crop.
He is an old school coach like that.
That's what I'm saying.
So I thought of this because he actually has the most wins in the history of the NBA.
Why, and you don't, Sportsmaster?
Unfortunately, I don't. Hamburger. Who?
That's the name of the show.
Best coach ever to win in to not win an NBA, to not win a title. We're talking this. You have Jeff Fisher, who I love. I used to love.
Bobby Valentine.
Bobby V. You're gonna throw that out there. Some people wouldn't say that's so crazy.
I just like
You know,
his antics.
he did get to the World Series. Well,
Yeah.
of course, who wouldn't like that funny mustache routine?
Yeah.
where he was tricking everyone.
Didn't trick me. I was like, wait a minute. That's Bobby Valentine.
You know, that Ron Gardenhire is sensational for the Minnesota Twins. I mean, he is a great manager, and he gets a team that has a couple, a decent superstar here or there, and every single year they seem to make the playoffs. He's very underrated.
Van Gundy never went, right?
No, he's excellent, too.
I love Van Gundy.
He's one of my all-time favorites. He was very close. He got
Yeah.
the Knicks to an NBA Finals.
Yeah.
So ultimately, we're going to say it's Jeff Van Gundy, and that's the end. Van Gundy! Van Gundy! Gundy Van! Gundy Van! Gundy Van! Gundy Van! Yeah! Hip hop! Hooray! Ho! Hey! Ho! Hey! Ho! 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need no stinking war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need no stinking war. 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't need no stinking war. Aye, 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 yee. Ho, ho. Aye, 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 yee.
What's this have to do with sports?
Well, I just wanted to change it up. I wanted to see how long you guys would follow me. Not very long, apparently.
Hey, long enough. You got to think about 3 in.
I got to chant 4, and you guys bailed out. Oh, come on. What about What's Happening? Remember that famous one? No rerun, no Roger, no rent. No rerun, no Roger, no rent.
No rerun, no Roger, no rent. No rerun, no Roger, no rent. No rerun.
Okay, please.
Oh, man. I blew it.
Shano. Davey Mac Sports Program. And we end on a strange note.
The most sane note I've had.
Davey Mack, a.k.a. Eastside Dave, a.k.a. the Sports Master, Chris Pepper, Peppy Hamburger, Stanley,
Bye.
Shawno,
Shut up.
Roy. Good night, everybody.